Hello, welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video today and talk about my new song because she kind of came out of nowhere and I think it'd be fun to just tell you guys a little bit more about the idea, how it came to me, show you guys the cover art. So yeah, first off, this is the cover art that I made. I'm obsessed with it. I love collaging. It's one of my favorite mediums. I collect a lot of print material, and I feel like just taking the time to sit down for hours, cut out different passages or pictures that resonate with you, and just glue it onto a page however you want has always been such a fun project for me to do. I have my vision board for this year up behind me, but this one was a lot more like newspapery. I found it at an old store in Boise called Roots, and I've had that paper for about a year. Roots is no longer in business, but I'm keeping the legacy alive, and I repurposed some of the materials that I found there. And then I also had this stamp from my travels. I think I got this in Paris, and some of these little pictures I had in like an old magazine from a jewelry store in Vegas. I think that it's all over, but it's called Karma and Luck. So I put those on there, but I loved how it turned out so much, and I felt like it fit this song and kind of this collection of songs that I'm creating. I think these first few songs have been kind of like a juxtaposition to how I am in real life, because I feel like I am like a bubbly, fun, happy person, and these songs are moody as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. And I think that's just how the beginning of this story starts for me. Those are the songs that I want to make, and those are the songs that I had written, years before when I was in a different period of life, and I want to bring them to life now. So, yeah, my first song that I put out was called Burn. It was more of like a spoken word song, but I've always loved that poem. I wrote it like a year or two ago, and it's something I just repeat to myself a lot. I thought other people would resonate with it and maybe find it, inspiring. So that was the first one. And then the second one, Ambiguity, a little bit different than the first one. I always thought that when I started creating music that there would be this one specific song that would be the first song that I put out, and I ended up deciding not to do that. I think it's going to be the third song, but I just wanted to give it the justice it deserved and find the right team that can help me make it sound the way that I want, because these first two, yes, I'm trying to take it as seriously as possible, but also, I'm doing all of this myself, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, I'm just here. But, yeah. Third song in the works. My second song, Ambiguity, it's not really about any specific situation, and I think that's something that will carry through with my music. It's about a feeling and an experience more than anything. I like to write about these universal feelings that come up over and over again in my life that I feel like I kind of experience in a loop. And the first line of the song goes, I grew my hair long, and I wrote you a sweet song. How long did I hold on? Or were you holding on to me? So that's the beginning. I feel like everyone always says hair holds memories, and right now my hair is the longest it's ever been, and I want to keep growing it, so that's the beginning of the song. It's hard to explain, like, I don't know, it just comes to you, and you write it down, you let it simmer, and then eventually you have a song. And sometimes I will like be playing chords and lyrics will come to me, and other times I'll have something written that I'm like, okay, I want to turn into a song. This was definitely the second case. Let's talk about the chorus. Let's put this to rest. I need somewhere to let my hair down. I kind of added the extra parts later. Like, as I was recording, I felt like it just needed an extra little beat at the end, because the first couple words just felt like empty. So leave the past behind me. Let's put this to rest. And then it repeats. I'm not going to sing it again, but it does repeat a few times. And that's kind of the fun part about recording stuff on your own, is you really get personal with the song, and it kind of evolves as you start playing with it. Like, I was not initially going to put piano in the beginning, and I feel like the piano is almost bordering that, like, microtonal kind of feel, because it's not exactly in tune with the words that I'm saying, but I feel like also that was intentional for the song, because this is the beginning of my music, and the beginning, in my opinion, is gonna be messy, it's gonna be imperfect, but if you have something to say and you feel like it's important, put it out there. So me messing with the piano was, I felt like, such a good representation of that, because I don't know how to play piano. I have no clue, okay? I've been just like messing around with it for fun, so I was like, why not just add it to this song? And I'm glad that I did. So the chorus repeats a little bit. I think it's just about becoming an adult and letting go of the things from your childhood, while also making space for the things that you loved as a kid. I know for me, music was something that I always loved. When I was in elementary school, I started a girl band, and I would like perform at lunch, and kids would come around and like sit and watch us, and it was so fun. And I don't know why I stopped, and I don't know if there was a specific moment that led me to say, like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore, but I think it had a lot to do with thinking that I needed to be logical in my creativity. And the funny and ironic thing that I've learned about that is that creativity is not logical. It's literally the opposite. So I feel like bringing this song to life was kind of like, let's let go, let's put to rest our fears and our doubts, and let's just have some fun. Life is too short, honestly. And I feel like, there were like kids in elementary and middle school and stuff that would kind of make comments or whatever about music, and that was enough to make me want to stop. But we're here now, and that's kind of why I said, you know, I need somewhere to let my hair down. Like, you don't need to be so, like, dense all the time. You can just chill the fuck out and do what you want to do. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. And then my favorite line of the whole song, at the end it goes, I'll sing it for you. No, that's not right. Yeah. It was never me, not me. I'm messing up my own song. It was never me, not me. How could it ever be? That's the ambiguous part of the song, because it makes sense, but also, like, what the fuck does that mean? It was never me, not me. How could it ever be? I think part of it is, like, talking about the doubts and fears that I had about taking music seriously were not me. That was coming from other people. And in, like, a weird way, it's like, you know, like, how could a girl like you ever do something like this? And I feel like that's something I told myself. Like, you're better at business. You're better at more logical things. And I think I kind of just put myself into the category of being rigid and stopped letting things flow and life happen. And I also think, in a sense, it is about love, but not in, like, a Taylor Swift way, just in, like, like, obviously I feel like everyone has loved and lost, and, you know, you meet people, you understand they're not your person, I guess, and I feel like it's kind of a reciprocal thing where they know that too. And so it's kind of just me saying, like, you know, I'm not the person for you, basically. But yeah, that's kind of a little backstory into this song. I also have an album name, well, I guess an EP name for my first EP. Do you want to know what it is? It's gonna be called 23. Okay, bye.